CCTV cameras have come a long way over the last few years, and they're a great way of monitoring people and places, capturing crimes on camera, and monitoring day-to-day activities in homes, businesses, or public places. However, sometimes they record things that are not comfortable to watch. Many times people do things thinking they are not being watched, but they are, by CCTV cameras. That is the case for many of these videos. So here we'll look at 5 incidents where the CCTV footage has added to the backstory of the chilling cases we're featuring. Before we get started, don't forget to support us on Patreon. We've kept our tier super low at just $2 per month, and you'll get access to all of our documentaries that are not going to be uploaded to YouTube. At the moment, for just $2, you'll get instant access to our Richard Ramirez documentary, and our documentary on the mysterious mind and work of Stanley Kubrick, where we discuss all of the hidden messages he put in his movies, from cults to faking the moon landing. In the next week or two, we'll also be uploading a Murderous Minds on Joseph Mengele. But as we've said before, we do not want those who cannot afford $2 per month to miss out on our content. Despite it being a terrible business model, you can email us at info@top5s.co.uk if you genuinely cannot afford the $2 per month, and we'll give you access to the documentaries for free. If you enjoy our documentaries or work, then please consider supporting. It's not just our Murderous Minds or other documentaries that get demonetized. Many of these Top 5s videos, most likely including this one, also do. And you can support for just $2 per month. Now with that out the way, hit those lights, sit back, and enjoy. The Indian Hospital. This video shows just what some families will do in pursuit of inheritance money. The shocking footage was captured on a hospital security camera. It shows Dr. Jayasudha Manoharan, along with her 2 sons, visiting her 82-year-old father, Dr. Rajagopal, who is being treated in a private intensive care room at a hospital in India. The hospital is owned by Rajagopal's son and Dr. Jayasudha's sister. She can be seen gesturing to nurses to leave the room, leaving just herself and her 2 sons at the bedside of her ailing father. As soon as they leave, Jayasudha grabs her father's medical file. As she does, her elderly son can be seen retrieving documents from under his shirt. Apparently, they then threaten the sick man, saying they will harm him unless he agrees to sign the papers. When he refuses, Jayasudha produces an ink pad and forces a thumb impression from her father to sign all the papers. Once the documents are signed, the elder son again conceals them under his shirt. Jayasudha can be seen wiping the ink off her father's thumb with a cotton pad and spirit. All the while, he appears to be protesting. Next, Jayasudha reaches under the bed and disconnects her father's heart IV line. This causes him to start bleeding, and a pool of blood starts to form on the floor close to Jayasudha's feet. Staff soon realize something is going on and enter the room. The eldest son then tries to leave with the medical file, but it is taken off him by a staff member. But as other staff enter the room, he manages to slip out unnoticed, and is later seen leaving the hospital on the exterior CCTV camera. Back in the ICC room, the patient tries to explain what has happened, but his daughter and young grandson deny everything, but are asked to leave anyway. But as Jayasudha gets off her chair, the disconnected IV falls to the floor, and she tries to tuck it under the mattress. A nurse notices what she is doing and quickly reconnects the line, and saves the patient's life. With blood still on her hands, Jayasudha leaves the room along with the younger son, and is later seen on exterior CCTV running from the hospital pursued by medical staff. Despite the spillage, it wasn't realised what Jayasudha and her 2 sons were trying to do until the CCTV was reviewed. Police initially filed cases of trespassing, exploitation, and criminal intimidation against family, but later changed that to attempted homicide. However, remarkably, the only action taken against Jayasudha and her son was a suspension from medicine for her and a warning for him. No action was taken against her younger son. Mr. Rajagopal passed away 2 months after the incident. Terrifyingly easy. This next footage is a chilling reminder of how easily someone can break into your home while you are sleeping. It was captured on a home security camera on January the 10th, 2019, from a house in Castle Bromwich, Birmingham, in the United Kingdom. The masked burglar, who appeared to have a limp, first scales a fence into the rear garden of the property, where he triggers security lights. However, despite the bright lights shining on him, he is undeterred and makes his way across the patio and peers through the glass doors into the home. Then he reaches into a bag and appears to pull out tools, which he uses to break the lock on the patio doors. He then slides open the door and listens in, before running away, apparently disturbed. Seconds later he returns, and this time he enters the house and starts staking the place, but again is disturbed, apparently by a house alarm, and makes a run for it. The homeowners were horrified at the ease in which the burglar was able to enter their property as they slept upstairs, and if their alarm hadn't gone off, the outcome could have been very different. The footage is a stark reminder of how important it is to protect our homes and keep people like this out. John P. Wheeler III. John P. Wheeler III, known as Jack, was a highly respected former army officer who held many highly ranked military and government positions. Most notably, he was a former presidential aide to the Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, and George W. Bush administrations. He was also a chairman of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, and in his later years, he was CEO of the Vietnam Children's Fund. So how did this jack of all trades end up being dumped in a landfill? On December 30th, 2010, 66-year-old Jack was spotted dishevelled and disorientated in downtown Wilmington, Delaware, wandering around the Nemmers building on 10th and Orange Streets. He was offered assistance by several individuals who were concerned for his well-being, but he refused. Take a look at this disturbing footage. Just 14 hours after this footage was captured, Jack was seen by a landfill worker as he fell from a dumpster onto a trash heap in Cherry Island landfill, 13 miles from where this footage was taken. Investigations revealed that the day before the CCTV footage was captured, Jack was sighted at the Newcastle County Courthouse parking garage. He was disorientated and wearing only one shoe, as the other was ripped. He attempted to gain access to the parking garage on foot, telling the parking assistant he wanted to warm up his car before paying the parking fee. It was later established that Jack's car was not even parked there, it was in a different parking lot near Amtrak train station. It's also claimed that 40 minutes before the parking lot sighting, Jack walked into a chemist in Newcastle, looking upset, and asked the pharmacist for a ride to Wilmington. The pharmacist offered to call a cab for him, at which point Jack left the store. As far as anyone knew, Jack had no health problems that might be related to such uncharacteristic and bizarre behaviour, although there are several conditions that might explain it, such as mental illness, heart problems, stroke, stress, or a problem with medication. However, after Jack was recovered, it was revealed that he was assaulted with a blunt instrument, and his demise was not related to any of the conditions mentioned. To date, the case is a complete mystery and remains unsolved. All they have to go on is the CCTV footage captured in Wilmington. Allen Wood CCTV. Lound in Lincolnshire, UK is a tiny rural hamlet approximately 16 miles from Peterborough in the middle of the English countryside. However, in 2009, it became the location of one of the most senseless, unprovoked attacks in British history on a man in his own house. The victim was 50-year-old Allen Wood, described by friends as a laid-back, easygoing man who worked hard and enjoyed the simple things in life. Alan had a passion for photography and motorbikes and was the proud owner of a black Triumph Speed Triple. His social life centred around visiting the Willoughby Arms public house in nearby Little Bytham. Alan lived alone since separating from his wife in 2003, although the pair remained on friendly terms, and since 2006 he had worked the night shift at his local Sainsbury's in Bourne. There was nothing in Alan's life to suggest he had any enemies, but on Saturday, the 24th of October 2009, Alan was seen leaving the Willoughby Arms to head back to his home in Lound. 3 days later, a friend visited his house and found his body. When the police were called, the sheer brutality of the sustained attack on Alan shocked even the most hardened officers. We cannot go into too much detail due to YouTube's sensitivity regarding these topics, but the attack was ferocious. In the days after the attack, it was established that the offender injured himself and left blood at the scene. Forensic analysis of the blood gave detectives a full male DNA profile. This had been run through the National DNA Database in the UK and around the world, but no match has been found. It's always been believed the motive was financial, and in the days after the attack, it was established that Alan's bank cards had been used in Bourne and Stamford at ATM cash points. After investigators trawled through thousands of hours of CCTV, they discovered these chilling images of a man using Alan's bank card. It's very likely this is Alan's attacker. He appears to be 5'9" to 5'11" in tall, dressed in a smart casual manner, and appears to be wearing a distinctive striped scarf. It's also been noted that he has an unusual walk, and experts outside of the force have come to the conclusion that he limps due to his right leg being slightly longer than his left leg. It's not believed he is local and is possibly someone who travelled to the area for work from another country and has since returned home. Detectives also found suspect footprints at the scene that match Converse trainers with the help of Converse in the USA. The print type has been narrowed down to these two styles. As with all these types of cases, if you have any information that could lead to solving the case, please contact UK Crime Stoppers. There is currently a £50,000 reward. Mahmoud al-Mabhouh. Mahmoud al-Mabhouh was one of the most wanted men in Israel. He was a senior Hamas military advisor and suspected of being involved in the 1989 crime where 2 Israel soldiers in Gaza were attacked. Amongst other things, he also played a crucial role in obtaining weapons for illegal organizations. Over the years, many people had tried taking his life, and it's fair to say that he was living on borrowed time. While on January the 19th, 2010, at 3:20 PM, he arrived at Dubai International Airport. He was travelling without bodyguards and was en route to Bangkok. Unbeknown to him, his every move was being monitored by at least 11 Mossad agents. At 3:25, he checked into a luxury hotel using a passport issued in his own name, and was allocated room 230. CCTV footage shows him being followed to his room by 2 men wearing tennis gear and holding rackets. They then relay his room number to other agents using an encrypted personal communication device. At around 3:23 PM, he leaves his room and is followed by at least 2 agents, although it's unknown where he went. During the course of the afternoon, more agents arrived through Dubai Airport, some of them checking into the hotel, others checking into nearby hotels. One of the agents, known as Peter, rings the hotel Mohammed is staying at from a nearby hotel business centre and asks to book room 237, the room opposite from room 230. He later arrives at the hotel and checks in, before handing a bag and the room key to another agent known as Kevin. Peter then leaves the hotel and makes his way back to the airport. Meanwhile, Kevin and a female agent known as Gail make their way to room 237. They are then joined by another heavily disguised man. Gail then leaves the hotel and hands bags over to agents waiting in the hotel car park. At around 6:32 PM, the assassination team starts to arrive in twos. There are 4 in total. At around 8 PM, 2 of the agents